Hello everybody, this is GeneralJannis, and today in Chaos Tactics I'm talking about the 10th edition that is incoming for Warhammer 40k. So with no further ado, let's look at all the exciting news. So today, the 24th of March, it has been quite a nice Warhammer week for me. Played a 2000 point game from my Chaos Knights, my first outing versus Imperial Guard. It was a fun game and a first victory for my Chaos Knights, two big knights and a couple of and a lot of War Dogs. And also yesterday I had a Crusade game starting a new Death Card Crusade with the Lord of Ireland. Finally got him in my collection versus the Tau, and that went also well, earning some virulence points for Nurgle. But as I said, the big news for Warhammer this week from Adepticon reveals the new edition of Warhammer 40k is coming. So in this video, let's go through some of the news, the datasheets, and then I'll tell you what I think about all these reveals. So the overall ideas for the new edition, as Games Workshop is putting, is to make a simplification of the rules to avoid having too many books and too many lookup in various sections to find the rules for your army. So they are talking about that the army rules for a faction will be on a single page, and then they said it would be a double-sided page, but at least it's better than the current situation. They are also saying that will be fewer stratagems, relics, traits, special rules for each factions, maybe something along the lines of the newest World Eater Codex, where it was quite a few stratagems, but most of them were quite good. And in a lot of the other factions, we have a lot of stratagems, but seldomly we use all of them. And of course, that would make it easier for new players to comprehend the stratagems. The core stratagems seem also to be reworked, giving also some more reactive play, as Games Workshops has mentioned. And then they will go more back to universal ability rules like Deep Strike or Feel No Pain, instead of calling it 10 different names for the different factions. Well, everybody's calling it, let's say, Deep Strike. There will be no detachments mentioned. You will have to take a warlord, and then you have a rule of 3 to abide by. Battle line units, probably troops or something like this, you can take six units of, but maybe you can do a lot of nice combinations. You don't need to use any detachments, etc. But let's see, for example, how that system would allow potentially to ally some other factions. Let's see how all of that will be working. And then they're talking about simpler data sheets. I will look at that in the next page. And then what they mentioned also, because a lot of people now, including myself, I have a lot of codexes. I like having the codexes, but with a new edition, they promise that all the rules will be updated for all factions. That will be available for free download and with data sheets with the release. So that, of course, the codex will be obsolete, but still we can keep Crusade and boarding patrols, as they said. But a nice idea with the free rules. Let's see how long that will go until the codexes will be starting to be released. And then, of course, based on the videos that we have seen, the starter boxes for the new edition will probably be Space Marines versus the Tyranids. Yeah, unfortunately, no chaos in the new boxed sets. Looking now at the datasheet example they gave for the Termagants, they will also make datasheet cards for easy use, and this is really what I really like that idea, because in my first box, the first strike box, there was some nice, neat data cards for the Poxwalkers and the Plague Marines, so it was easy to use as as a new player, quite handy instead of flicking through books. So they have made them a bit simpler. So we'll have the move, the toughness, the wounds, the saves, the leadership, and then a new stat OC that is linked to holding objectives. Maybe you will be adding these OC points if they are per model or if it's per unit, to see how who has the most objective control points, I guess. They say easier than objective secure. I don't understand this, because I think it was quite easy with the objective secure anyway. Maybe it was more difficult to find out which units had objective secure, to be fair. The strength, attack, ballistic skill, weapon skill will move in the weapons section, where they include that for easier reference there. So that's quite handy, I would assume, but I don't know, for some of the units that have a lot of weapon options, maybe the datasheet will be really cluttered, and if they have a lot of abilities, but maybe they will clean up on some of those datasheets. Toughness still present. There was some rumors that toughness will be gone. I think that's good news for Death Guard at least. But let's see how everything will work with the new datasheets. But it's a good idea to have them as a simple, nice looking cards like the one they show here. And then they mentioned a new game mode, Combat Patrol, that should be simple to use for new players. So basically, it seems like a fixed list based on what is available in the Combat Patrol boxes that somehow Games Workshop is claiming that will be ingeniously balanced. I'm wondering how that will go. So probably it's a good idea for a new player getting the Combat Patrol box and maybe getting at least immediately they can play, but I'm guessing all all let's say the combat patrols currently are not created equally. Will it give a incorrect flavor of the faction? For example, the Death Guard combat patrol box is really single-minded. A lot of box walkers, maybe only Typhus or something like this. No vehicles there, so it will only give you some idea of a Death Guard army. The Thousand Sons, a lot of a lot of Jangors there. The Chaos Knights don't have a combat patrol box. Probably they will make a list with some War Dogs, but uh, yeah. So maybe a good thing for some new players to easily start. But I'm a bit skeptical about this one, to be fair. New units for the new edition. Let's say the Dark Angels Primarch is back. The Lionel Johnson, and I think that's nice to see some more Primarchs on the table for some epic fights, and for I think Mortarion, Angron, Magnus, maybe they will all look to have more targets to fight with. And then they revealed a new sculpts for the, let's say, old Terminators, maybe something that could spill over for Chaos Space Marine Terminators, and then some new larger sculpt Termagants didn't look so much different to me. And I know a lot of people are excited about these new old Terminators. I maybe honestly here, I don't like the old skull. I don't really like how the Terminators look. So please don't hang me in the comments. I really like the assault cannon look also in the video, but yeah, not much news for, let's say, some of the other Chaos factions here yet. So, reaching to the summary and final thoughts, new edition incoming, great big news for all Warhammer 40k fans. I think if they follow through with the rule simplification and these datasheet cards are neat, I think it's some welcome changes to make it easier to reference while you're playing. More freedom in list building with the detachments and things like that will probably also make it a bit easier. And I think that it's nice that when they launch, all the rules will be free and everything will be updated. Let's see how balanced they will make it, and let's see how long it will last. But it's a good idea rather than some other editions where we had some old codex syndrome, making some of the factions really unplayable for a long time. And then, of course, the devil is in the details. How will they balance the things? How will the simplifications go? How will some of the phases in the game go, etc. So I will be looking at some rules. But in any case, GeneralJannis will still be hanging in there. And I will be here to do the math, the chaos math hammering when we get points and data sheets. And we'll always be there for chaos to continue letting the galaxy burn, as in the video the Gilliman was looking at more and more planets that were exterminated. So with these words, this concludes the video. What do you think about the new edition? If you want to take more part of the discussion, please visit our Discord channel. You can also visit my Patreon page or become a YouTube member. And with these words, General Yannis signing out. Stay safe out there, and bye-bye.